In a peaceful corner of the galaxy, Earth had always been seen as a quiet, calm planet. While other civilizations fought wars, built empires, and crushed their enemies, humans chose a different path. They built their cities, explored their world, and reached for the stars, but they never started any wars. They were diplomats, thinkers, and problem solvers. No one believed they could ever be a threat to anyone. But that was before the invasion. The Vreks, a brutal alien race, were known throughout the galaxy for their ruthless attacks on weaker planets. They had wiped out entire species without a second thought. When they set their eyes on Earth, they thought it would be an easy conquest. Humans had never fought a real war, and the Vreks believed they could take over without resistance. The first sign of the invasion came when massive Vreks ships appeared in Earth's orbit. The world's leaders watched in disbelief. They had always known that there were dangers in the universe, but this was different. The Vreks didn't send ambassadors or make demands, they simply attacked. Cities around the world were destroyed within hours. The alien weapons were far superior to anything humans had. For the first time in history, the peaceful planet was under assault. The Earth's military, though strong, was no match for the alien technology. Humans had never been trained for something like this. The world's armies fought back, but it seemed hopeless. For every alien ship they destroyed, 5 more appeared. People everywhere were afraid of losing everything, afraid that their peaceful way of life was about to be erased forever. But as the destruction spread, something unexpected happened. The world's leaders didn't panic. They didn't run or hide. Instead, they came together, working as one. It was in that moment of desperation that humanity revealed something that no one, least of all the Vreks, had expected. Humans weren't weak. They weren't helpless. They had a power unlike any other species in the galaxy. They had the power of unity. While the Vreks had advanced weapons, they didn't understand the human spirit. The Earth's leaders, military commanders, and scientists joined forces like never before. They began to share knowledge, to work together in ways they never had before. They quickly developed new weapons, new strategies, and new ways to fight. It wasn't just the strength of their weapons that made humans dangerous. It was their ability to adapt and learn. One of the key weapons the humans created was something simple but effective, a signal disruptor. It scrambled the Vreks' communications and made their ships vulnerable. It didn't take long for the Vreks to realize that their advantage in technology meant nothing if they couldn't coordinate their attacks. They had underestimated the humans' ability to fight back. As the humans continued to fight, the Vreks found themselves losing ground. Slowly, their ships were destroyed, their forces were scattered, and their confidence began to crack. They didn't understand how a species that had never fought a war could be so organized, so determined. The Vreks thought they were invincible, but they didn't know that humans had a secret, something far more powerful than weapons or technology: resilience. The war raged on for weeks, but with each passing day, humanity became stronger. They didn't just fight, they learned. They learned how to predict the Vreks' moves, how to counter every attack, how to turn their weakness into strength. It wasn't just about winning battles. It was about showing the universe that humanity would not back down, no matter how overwhelming the odds. Then, something even more shocking happened. A group of humans, including some of the brightest minds in the world, unlocked an ancient technology hidden deep beneath the Earth's surface. This technology, once used by humanity's ancestors, was powerful enough to change the tide of the war completely. It was an energy source capable of destroying entire fleets with a single strike. But the humans didn't use it right away. Instead, they waited. They knew that the moment they unleashed this power, there would be no going back. They had always prided themselves on peace, and using this weapon would mean they had truly become something different. But in the end, they made a choice. The moment came when the Vreks launched their final assault. Their fleet was massive, and their weapons were devastating. The humans had no choice but to use the ancient technology. They activated it, sending a wave of energy through the Vreks' fleet. The ships exploded in flashes of light, and the Vreks fell back in shock. The universe watched as the once invincible aliens were defeated by a species they had underestimated. In the end, Earth was saved, but the victory came at a price. Humans had won, but they had also lost a part of themselves. They had proven that when pushed to the brink, they could fight back with a power that could shake the galaxy. But in doing so, they had broken their peace forever. From that moment on, the universe would never see humans the same way again. The Vreks retreated, their empire broken, and Earth began to rebuild. But the world had changed. The peaceful humans who had once chosen diplomacy over war now understood that peace came at a cost. The universe would never forget what happened the day humanity broke its silence. And neither would the humans. For centuries, Earth had been a quiet observer in the galaxy. Its people were known for their peaceful nature, their diplomacy, and their ability to solve problems without the need for violence. Other civilizations, much older and far more advanced, often looked down on humanity. They thought of humans as weak, as fragile beings who could never stand up for themselves. They thought wrong. The war began without warning. One day, a mysterious alien fleet appeared on Earth's doorstep. These aliens, known as the Core, were infamous across the galaxy for their brutal invasions. They had crushed countless planets under their boots, taking what they wanted with no mercy. When they arrived at Earth, they expected an easy victory. After all, the humans had never fought a real battle. They had never shown any interest in war. It was the perfect time to invade. The first strike was swift. The Core ships released deadly blasts that ripped through Earth's defenses. Cities crumbled, and the skies burned as human forces scrambled to defend themselves. It seemed hopeless. The Core were everywhere, and they were far stronger than anything Earth had ever faced. The humans fought back with everything they had, but the more they fought, the clearer it became that they were outmatched. As the chaos spread, the world's leaders came together in desperation. They knew they had to act quickly, or Earth would be lost. But what the Core didn't know, what no one knew, was that humanity wasn't as defenseless as it appeared. Deep beneath the surface of Earth, in hidden underground bunkers, a secret was waiting to be revealed. A secret that had been buried for centuries. The secret was not a weapon. It was a power. A power that had been locked away since the dawn of humanity. The humans had long forgotten about it. For generations, it had been hidden, sealed away by their ancestors. It was a gift that had been passed down, but only in whispers. A gift that was too dangerous to use, but too powerful to be left forgotten. The time had come for this power to be unlocked. A small group of human scientists, soldiers, and ancient scholars discovered the secret. They uncovered the truth that had been hidden for so long. Humanity had once been a great warrior race. Thousands of years ago, before Earth became the peaceful planet it was known as, humans were known as the most dangerous force in the galaxy. But something had changed. The warriors of the past had hidden away their power, locking it deep within the Earth, to ensure that it would never be used again. Now, with the planet under attack, the humans had no choice. They had to awaken the ancient power that had been buried for so long. The group of humans who uncovered the secret worked quickly, activating the ancient technology hidden deep within the Earth's crust. They unlocked a series of chambers, each filled with energy that had been dormant for millennia. It wasn't a weapon in the traditional sense. It wasn't about guns or bombs. It was something much more terrifying. It was a force that could manipulate the very fabric of reality itself. The power to bend time, space, and energy. The Core, for all their might, had never encountered anything like it. They had thought they were the most advanced race in the galaxy, but they were wrong. As the power surged through the Earth's core, humanity's greatest warriors, those who had once ruled the galaxy, were brought back. Their minds and bodies were enhanced, transformed into beings of unimaginable strength. Their ancient combat techniques were reawakened, but more than that, they were connected to the very energy of the planet. They could feel the Earth's heartbeat. They could sense every movement of the enemy. The first battle that followed was unlike anything the Core had ever experienced. As the Core forces charged towards Earth's last strongholds, they were met with something they couldn't understand. The humans didn't just fight, they predicted their every move. They anticipated their attacks, countered them with a speed that was almost supernatural. The Core, who had once been feared across the stars, were now on the defensive. The humans didn't use conventional weapons. Instead, they wielded the energy of the Earth itself. They manipulated gravity to crush their enemies, bent the air to create powerful storms, and harnessed the very energy of the sun to strike down the invaders. It was as if the planet itself had awakened and was fighting back. The core, who had once thought of humanity as weak, were now running in fear. With each passing day, the humans grew stronger. They unlocked more of the ancient power, and the core realized that they were no longer the hunters, they were the prey. The balance had shifted, and Earth had become the most dangerous planet in the galaxy. As the final battle approached, the core were in full retreat. They had lost everything. Their fleets were scattered, their forces decimated, and their empire was on the brink of collapse. The humans had done the impossible. They had not only defended their planet, they had turned the tide of the war, and in doing so, they had revealed a truth that no one in the galaxy could deny: humans were not weak. They were not peaceful because they had no strength. They were peaceful because they had chosen to be. And now, the secret they had been hiding for centuries had been unleashed. Earth had become a force to be reckoned with, and no one, no empire, no alien race would ever forget what humanity was truly capable of. The core had learned the hard way. They had underestimated the humans, and now they would pay the price. The galaxy would never again look at Earth the same way. For as long as anyone could remember, humans had never started a war. They were known for their peaceful nature, their focus on building and growing, not destroying. Earth was a place where diplomacy ruled, and the idea of fighting seemed distant until the day that everything changed. It began quietly. A strange fleet of ships entered Earth's atmosphere, cloaked in mystery and danger. At first, no one knew what to make of it. They were not like any ships humans had ever seen. The people of Earth had faced challenges before: natural disasters, political turmoil, but nothing like this. These ships came from a race of aliens known as the Turnak, a species with a reputation for conquering planets. They didn't send diplomats, didn't offer peace talks. They didn't even send a message. They just arrived, their massive ships hovering over cities like silent giants. The world watched in fear. The first attack came without warning. A flash of light, a deafening sound, and suddenly parts of the city were gone. People ran in all directions, unsure of where to go or what to do. The military responded quickly, but the Turnak ships were too powerful, their technology too advanced. Earth's best weapons couldn't stop them. And as quickly as the Turnak had attacked, they disappeared into the sky. The world was left in shock. How could this happen? How could something so terrifying happen on Earth, a planet that had never known war? Governments met, panicking, unsure of what to do next. Earth wasn't ready for this. Humanity had always solved its problems through peace, but now they faced something new, something they didn't know how to fight. Days passed. Then weeks. The Turnak returned. This time, they didn't attack with their ships. Instead, they landed hundreds of them. They marched through cities with the kind of cold, silent power that made everyone freeze in place. The Turnak didn't seem to care about Earth's governments. They didn't negotiate. They didn't ask for anything, they simply took what they wanted. They forced humans into camps, destroyed food supplies, and set up bases of their own. It was clear they weren't just here for a few resources, they wanted to take the planet. As fear spread, a wave of anger started to rise among Earth's people. It was a strange feeling, one they had never known. Humans were usually peaceful, diplomatic. But this was different. The world had never been pushed to the brink of destruction before. The thought of Earth falling to invaders was unbearable. In the heart of the world's capital, a group of humans came together in secret. Military leaders, scientists, and ordinary citizens who refused to surrender. They knew one thing: if they didn't act now, Earth would be lost. They had no choice but to fight back. But the question was, how? Earth had never fought a war. There were no ancient battle plans, no history of great military leaders to turn to. Everything humans knew about fighting was theoretical, untested. But that was about to change. The first step was simple: communication. Humans had to come together, combining all their resources, knowledge, and strength. Countries that had once been rivals now stood side by side, working as one. Every scientist, every engineer, every soldier joined the effort to create a weapon powerful enough to challenge the Turnek. What they created was unlike anything Earth had ever seen, a weapon powered by Earth's own natural forces, using energy from the planet itself. It wasn't just a weapon of destruction, it was a weapon of hope. A symbol that humans, despite their peaceful past, had the power to fight back when pushed too far. When the Turnek returned for their next attack, they found the humans waiting. It wasn't just soldiers standing ready, it was an entire planet, united for the first time in history. The Turnek never expected this. They had thought humans weak, easily defeated. But now they saw something different in their eyes: determination. The first battle was fierce. The Turnek came with their advanced technology, but they underestimated humanity's greatest weapon, their ability to adapt. The new human weapon, charged by the Earth's energy, sent waves of power that pushed the Turnek back. It wasn't enough to win the war in one battle, but it was enough to show the aliens that humans weren't as helpless as they thought. As the battle raged, the world watched. Every moment felt like the end, but the humans fought on. They fought for their planet, for their future, and for the peace they had always known. The Turnek, once so confident, were starting to feel the pressure. The humans had learned quickly, fought smart, and they had something the Turnek didn't: unity. As the Turnek forces retreated, there was a moment of silence. The world stood still, unsure of what would happen next. Had the humans truly won, or was this just the beginning of a longer war? No one could say for sure. The first time humanity had fought was over, but the fight was far from finished. The Turnek had learned one thing they could never forget: humans were not weak. They had faced the impossible and come out stronger. No longer would Earth be seen as a peaceful, defenseless planet. The world had changed forever, and the universe would soon understand that humans would never let their home be taken so easily again. The war had begun, but it had also shown something even more important: humanity had a secret they had always hidden from the galaxy. The first time they fought with everything they had. And now, the universe would never look at them the same way again. Earth had always been known for one thing: peace. For centuries, humans had lived without war, focusing on growth, exploration, and understanding. They were a species that valued diplomacy and harmony. No matter the challenge, humans had always found a way to solve problems without violence. But that peace was shattered the day the Clithians arrived. The Clithians were a race of aliens, known throughout the galaxy for their cruelty and desire for power. They had conquered countless worlds, leaving destruction in their wake. When they set their sights on Earth, humanity had no idea what was coming. The peaceful planet that had never known war suddenly found itself face to face with an enemy, unlike anything they had ever seen. It started quietly. A strange, shimmering light appeared in the sky, almost as if it were a star falling to Earth. People were curious but confused. The world's leaders weren't worried after all. Earth had dealt with small threats before, and this didn't seem like a major one. But they couldn't have been more wrong. In the blink of an eye, the light exploded into dozens of ships, each one massive and terrifying, casting long shadows across Earth. The Clithians didn't announce their arrival. They didn't send an ambassador. They simply invaded. No one had time to react. Cities were struck by powerful beams that turned buildings to rubble in seconds. Entire regions of the world were decimated as the alien ships unleashed their deadly firepower. Humanity's first instinct was to fight back. But they were unprepared. The world's military forces scrambled to defend their people, but the Clithian technology was far beyond anything Earth had. Their weapons were too powerful, their ships too fast. It seemed impossible to fight them. Humanity had always relied on peace, but now that peace was over, Earth was under attack, and there was no escaping the reality. As the fighting raged, the leaders of Earth gathered in secret. The time for diplomacy had passed. The Clithians had shown no interest in negotiations or peaceful talks. The world had never experienced an invasion like this, and the people felt a rising sense of fear and desperation. If they didn't find a way to fight back soon. But there was something the humans didn't know. There was a power hidden deep within Earth, a power that could change everything. For centuries, it had been buried, forgotten by all but a few. It was a secret that had been kept from the galaxy, hidden away by Earth's ancient ancestors. Now, with their planet's survival on the line, it was time to uncover that secret. A small group of scientists, military leaders, and historians worked together, determined to uncover the ancient power that had been hidden for so long. They searched through old texts, ancient ruins, and long-lost artifacts. The more they uncovered, the more they realized humanity had a strength they had long forgotten. A strength that, if awakened, could turn the tide of the war. The power was not a weapon in the traditional sense. It wasn't about bombs or lasers. It was something deeper, something more dangerous. It was a force that could control the elements themselves, the power to manipulate the world around them, to bend nature to their will. The Clithians had underestimated Earth. They thought humans were weak, that their peaceful ways had made them soft. But they were wrong. The humans had the ability to fight back, and now they were ready to use everything they had. The first signs of the power's awakening were small, almost unnoticed. A lightning storm that appeared out of nowhere, the ground shaking as if it were alive. Strange energy surging through the air, unseen but felt by all. The humans had begun to tap into the ancient force buried beneath their feet. As the Clithians advanced, they were met with a force they had never anticipated. The first battle was nothing like the Clithians had imagined. The humans, armed with the power of Earth itself, fought with a fury that shocked their invaders. They controlled the elements, sending waves of energy that knocked Clithian ships from the sky. They used the power of the Earth to create barriers that stopped the alien beams from reaching their cities. It was as if the very planet was fighting back, protecting its people. The Clithians were stunned. They had thought the humans were weak, but now they saw something entirely different. These weren't the peaceful beings they had once thought they were. The humans had awakened something inside them, something fierce and powerful, and the Clithians didn't know how to stop it. With each passing day, humanity grew stronger. The more they learned to control the ancient power, the more they could push the Clithians back. But the war was far from over. The Clithians weren't going to give up easily. They had come for one reason: to conquer Earth. They would not leave without a fight. As the war reached its peak, humanity's resolve was tested. The world had changed. The once peaceful planet was now in the midst of an all-out war. But the people of Earth weren't afraid. They had discovered something about themselves. They were not helpless. They were capable of great things, things they had never imagined. They had a power that was stronger than any weapon, and they would fight until the last breath to protect their world. The final battle was unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. The Clithians, now desperate, launched their full force against Earth, sending everything they had at the planet. But Earth's power was too much. The humans fought back with everything they had, and the planet itself seemed to rise up in their defense. The Clithians couldn't hold on. They had underestimated Earth, and now they would pay the price. The war ended with the Clithians retreating, their empire shattered. Earth had won, but the cost had been high. The world was forever changed. The peaceful Earth that had once existed was gone, replaced by a planet that had learned the true power of survival. Peace was over, but humanity had found something even more important: the strength to fight when there was no other choice. For centuries, Earth had been a place of peace. Humans had never known the horrors of war, always choosing diplomacy, cooperation, and understanding over conflict. But that peace was about to end in the most unexpected way. The sky above Earth had been clear, but that changed one fateful day. It wasn't a meteor shower or a passing comet. No, what appeared in the sky was far worse. Massive ships, unlike anything humanity had ever seen, appeared in the heavens. Their sleek, dark forms hovered ominously over the planet. It was as if the stars themselves had descended upon Earth. No one knew who they were, where they came from, or what they wanted. The world's leaders scrambled to figure out how to respond. Was it a peaceful visit, an exploration, or an invasion? But as soon as the first shots were fired, the answer became clear: it was war. The invaders were the Archon, a powerful alien race that had been conquering planets across the galaxy. Earth was just another stop on their list. They attacked without warning, using weapons that sent shockwaves across cities. Buildings collapsed. People screamed. Chaos spread through the streets. Governments tried to coordinate defenses, but the Arkan ships were too advanced, too fast. Earth's military forces stood no chance. In the face of such overwhelming power, the human race did what it had never done before. They fought back. But they weren't ready. They had no weapons powerful enough, no battle plans, no experience in war. For the first time in their history, humans found themselves truly powerless. As the days passed, the Arkan forces destroyed cities, taking control of key locations across Earth. They didn't care for diplomacy. They didn't care for anything but dominance. The people of Earth felt a sinking hopelessness. What could they do against an enemy so strong? But in the darkest moments, a small group of people began to find answers. Among them were military commanders, brilliant scientists, and ancient historians who had studied the lost history of Earth's past. Together, they began to uncover the truth. Humanity had always had a strength hidden deep within. The key to fighting back had always been there, but it had been forgotten over time. It wasn't a weapon that could be built in a laboratory, nor a machine that could be developed. No, the power they discovered was something far more primal. It was something that Earth itself had, a deep connection between the planet and the people who lived on it. It was energy, raw and untapped, hidden beneath the surface of the world. And now, in their darkest hour, humanity was about to awaken it. The group of scientists and military leaders worked day and night, drawing on ancient knowledge and technology. They created a plan to access the planet's hidden power. The energy was not just a physical force, it was a power that could manipulate the very elements of the Earth. Wind, fire, water, and even the ground beneath them could be controlled. But only if the people of Earth could unlock it. And that would require unity, something humanity had never needed as much as now. As the Arkan forces continued to strike, the humans on the ground began to fight back in small, powerful ways. The first signs of the power's awakening were subtle. A group of soldiers used the energy to create shields of rock, stopping the enemy's laser blasts. A city's electrical grid was overloaded, sending surges of power that knocked out Arkan ships in midair. It was only the beginning. Word spread quickly. Around the world, humanity began to join forces. Soldiers, civilians, scientists, everyone who could contribute came together. Earth's people learned to harness the planet's energy, connecting with the elements in ways that had never been possible before. They didn't need advanced weapons. They had the very forces of nature at their command. The Arkan didn't understand what was happening. They thought they had Earth in the palm of their hand. They had underestimated humanity. The power of the planet was something they had never encountered. As the days went on, the humans fought back harder, stronger. The invaders began to lose ground as humans manipulated the environment to trap them, burn them, and destroy their technology. It wasn't just the armies fighting anymore. It was every human, everywhere. Farmers used the wind to sweep Arkan soldiers off the battlefield. Scientists unleashed storms to disrupt the invaders' communications. Entire cities fought together, using the energy of the Earth to rise up against their oppressors. The Arkan realized they had made a grave mistake. They had underestimated the people of Earth, thinking them weak and defenseless. But Earth's power was ancient, and its people were more resilient than they could ever imagine. As the final battle approached, the Arkan ships began to retreat. They had never faced an enemy like this before, and now they were out of time. The humans had turned the tide of the war. The once dominant Arkan were now on the run, defeated by the very planet they had tried to conquer. The day humanity fought back had come. It was a day that would be remembered forever in history. Peace was no longer an option. The Arkan had learned the hard way that humans would do whatever it took to protect their world. And now, Earth was stronger than ever. When the last Arkan ship vanished from the sky, the world erupted in celebration. But as humans stood victorious, they knew one thing: their peace had been broken. Earth would never be the same again. The day they fought back had shown them what they were truly capable of, and they would never forget that lesson.